good afternoon. Let's do some Elliott Wave analysis, chatting and a Q&A. And we're also going to puzzle in this live stream as I am interested in counting one particular section a little bit different and then see what it does to the rest of the range. So we're going to do a little bit of research today as well, a little bit of live counting, if you want to call it like that. But good to have you here. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you. It is sunny in the Netherlands, but also rainy in the Netherlands. But as it stands, we got some sunshine on my face here. Beautiful day. We did some sports. My wife and I went for a run already. The morning was productive. And of course, we want to have the afternoon productive as well. So let's start with this live stream now. Flotti, Lucas, Bina, Mido, Bettina, Trading Queen, Matthias, Davy. Welcome, everyone. Adrian, good to have you here as well. Tomorrow morning is Formula One. That is true in Japan. Exactly. Let's see what the weather is going to do this weekend with regards to the Grand Prix on Sunday. They expected rain and then they did not expect rain. And you don't know. You don't know. But yeah, welcome, everyone. Good to have you here. And yo, Mr. Waves. I mean, on Discord, your name is a lot easier than it is on YouTube, not gonna lie, right? But yeah, good to have you here, man. Like, this guy makes super clean charts. Always love to see his charts. Liquid Mafia, always with his interstellar charts, the rings as well. I'm actually curious, Liquid Mafia, if we have any special rings coming up. Would be interested to know. Dasa Gaming, how you doing? Stuba, hello. Stuba, great counter as well. I actually mentioned his name was mentioned his name in the morning update video. Liquid Mafia, I do. Hey, that's what I said as well about a month ago when I married. Rob Cromer, good afternoon. Good to have you here from the other side of the world. I do. Actually, I had to say yes, I do. Apparently, the word yes is very important. So, yeah. Okay, so in this live stream, what we're going to do, good evening, Cardano, is, of course, we're going to count the range, Elliott Waves. We're going to go over some of the folders that I already have on the right side, the folders that you can see. However, I also want to puzzle a little bit, specifically due to one section on the chart that also Bettina, I'm not sure if you're here, but has been talking about. And it's definitely an area of interest to me. But with the price action, also the price action we have now, I'm actually interested in seeing, hey, thinking out of the box, what other scenarios can we get by counting things a little bit different and see if we get to certain results and see if some scenarios that we already have might change in probabilities based on some new information. So we're gonna do some live analysis and stuff as well as we usually do. I mean, but a little bit of puzzling, a little bit of thinking as well. Money Badger, good to have you here. Thanks for your comment this morning. That was very kind of you. Good to see you here. And yeah, let's start. No, let's start. Oh, Bettina is here. Yeah, of course. I just said hi. So let's start. What you see on the chart before we get into the waves are the value levels of the previous range. So we had this range over here. This is the value area high, point of control, and the value area low of the previous range. For me, that is pretty much all the support that we have. And it's not necessarily, it's okay support, especially the point of control, of course, is always an area of interest. But let's see how price react. And I actually just told Silver before I went live here on YouTube, I said, I'm very patient. And of course, I spoke a bit about the waves as well, which I'll cover in this video. But I mentioned that I'm very patient with the move to the downside over here. Market structure locally is, of course, bearish. We have this range, which is pretty much the only support that I have. If I open my horizontal folders here, I don't have much left. Like below the point of control, yeah, you have the value area high, and that's pretty much it. And then probabilities are higher to move to the target box below at around 62K. So And that's also an area of interest that we covered in the morning update. So yeah, let's see if price is going to give us anything. Now the weekend is of course coming close. The moment the weekend hits, generally price likes to go sideways in a ranging structure. So therefore, preferably, if we do get some action today, I would like to see it before 10 p.m. Central European time, as at 10 p.m. the markets close, at least New York closes. So let's see if we can get something impulsive today, and yeah, remain patient with what price is doing here on the chart. That being said, turning everything off, and we're going to count some waves, no? Quarterly cover where we are in the bigger scheme of things, because I haven't shown this yesterday. So let me go to the weekly. Where is it? There we go. So we're gonna do the higher time frame as well in the live stream. Mido, let's go indeed. Christian, what's up? How you doing? Good morning / afternoon. Christian, are you still in Switzerland? Where are you now? Like where did you go to? No, like Mr. Sieb and Mark, good to have you here, man. Welcome. Okay, let's start. So the weekly time frame, I like to start in the morning with the weekly time frame because it just gives me a lot of patience, I suppose. Oh, by the way, is the stream lagging or is it not lagging? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. The stream's current bitrate is lower than recommended. Let me know, please, if the stream is running smooth. Of course, if it is not running smooth, I'll probably know very quickly. It's good now, I see. I am on Wi-Fi instead of cable. So, you know, because I was too lazy to actually connect the cable. But if it happens again, or 2 more times, I'll just plug in the cable. YouTube gave me a notification here. Okay, cool. Never mind then. Thanks for your feedback, everyone. The buffer. Write down the... Oh, yeah, the time. Yeah, good one. Good one, Mark. Okay. Oh, wait. This Christian is in New York. The other Christian... Oh, wow, there's so many Christians here. But Christian from New York. Good to have you here. Other side of the world as well. It's morning there. Okay, thanks, guys. Cool. 1 gigabyte fiber optic. Jeez, nice. Okay, let's start. Minute 11:25. Okay, 11:25. Remember. So I always like to start on the weekly time frame because it's very calm, right? There's not much noise. There's not many like wicks and random things happening. It just gives a nice overview of where we are on the chart, which is important for the lower time frame counts as well. So the bullish scenario is that we have a finished double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and we are looking to finish this wave 3. Now this wave 3, the longer we range sideways here, the higher the probabilities that this wave 3 is in, and we're going to be looking for a wave 4 in green. Now with regards to the target is the green box over here. Between 63.3k and 53.3k, taken from the low of 2 to the high of this wave 3 on the logarithmic chart. Okay, on the logarithmic chart. So if I go to linear, you see that the target area is a little bit higher. Now the reason I like to use logarithmic is because on the weekly time frame, generally I like to use logarithmic on the weekly time frame, but also we went up by 300 and something %, and which is my main reason actually, the target box is a little bit lower. So it gives me a bit of a bigger price range to take into account. If I go to the linear scale, right, not logarithmic, this is the linear scale here, you can see the invalidation is 52k, but on the logarithmic it's 49.3. So it just gives me a little bit more room to play around with whatever is going to happen in this range. We already hit the target area, so that's valid as well, but it just gives me a little bit more space to work with, which is what I like. So this is the target area for your wave 4 invalidation 0.618, 49.4k. Interesting, below price is the weekly gap. Now this weekly gap is in confluence with the 05 and the 382 area. This is an important area of support for price as well. And the moment price would potentially, maybe in the future, we don't know, we're going to count this range in a second, but hit this high of the gap on the weekly gap, this gap over here, generally you see a reaction, price acting, or this level acting as support. If daily candles start closing inside the range, probabilities increase to fill this gap to the downside and hit this order block at 53k. A great example of how these gaps can work happened on the 1 hour. I mentioned this in the video, I don't know, this morning I think, and also previous live streams. Of course, we've been speaking about gaps many times on the channel as well. I use it differently, I suppose, than FVG and all that stuff, but we had a gap here, right? So that is the low of the gap, the high of the gap, and the moment price hit the low of the gap, this is the 1 hour time frame, by the way. The reason I use the 1 hour is because we have a single candle here. If I go to the 30 minutes, you will see candle 1, candle 2. I don't like that, right? I want to see one candle to the downside. And if I go to higher time frames, then what you see is you have this candle, but the second one is higher than the first candle after this gap. I don't like that as well. So I just want the first candle, there you go, to be the highest. And so the moment the low of the gap was hit, a little bit of resistance, but then if price closes a 1 hour candle inside, probabilities increase to fill the gap to the upside. Order block, gap is filled, acting as resistance, very nice. Then we had bearish CVD divergences here, adding to the confluence of looking for a short position, and price has been going down ever since. We zooming out again. So this is the highest probability scenario, right? The move towards the upside being a double 1-2, and then we're looking for that wave 4 to eventually start. If, it might have already started. So this area in general is an area of interest. The reason I say potentially it started is because of the blue count that you see on the chart right now. This is a similar target area in blue, as you can see, compared to green. The main difference is that this blue wave 4 is a lower degree Elliott wave count. So now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a lower time frame count, more like daily 4 hour. And then you have 4, 5, and after 5 is in, that is when your wave 3 is finishing in green, and then you start a wave 4. So it's just a little bit more bullish, but the target area is not very different than the green area. So that is why, again, I prefer to use green, because it covers a bit more space, gives me more room, and that is what I like. So that is the bullish scenario and the weekly. The bearish scenario shortly then as well, as we always, of course, have to remain bullish and bearish. We have to remain neutral. The bearish scenario will be a flat here in an A, B, C. This is the regular flat target. This is the expanding flat target. But if we are looking for a flat, we want to see an impulsive move to the downside after the high. And at the moment, probabilities are highest that the move that we have to the downside, the first structure after the high was made, is a corrective structure and not an impulsive structure as it stands, right? Based on the probabilities and the count to the downside, it very much looks like a 3-waver, not a 5-waver, increasing probabilities that this is not the end of your B in a bearish scenario and you start a wave C. Probabilities are higher to still look for higher prices coming. Can take a while because, of course, we can range for a little bit like we did here, no? But the probabilities are very much towards the upside, not the downside. So then we zoom in to the current range. This is, of course, where it's all been happening. While in the corner of my eye, I see something yellow. So Vladimir Kim, let's celebrate their 20th super on a live stream. Can I celebrate this? Vladimir, how can I do this? I can't heart it or whatever. I can't. I don't know. Vladimir Kim, thanks for the 10 bucks, man. I appreciate your support. That's very, very kind of you. Great to have you here again. And like this emote says, thanks a lot. Very kind of you. Also, your 20th super on a live stream. You've been on a roll. Thanks, Vladimir. Really, really cool. I saw it popping up in this corner of my eye. KG, by the way, welcome. And Abdul Mukit. Hi, man. It's been a long time indeed because I was gone for a month in South Africa. I married in South Africa, was gone for a month, but I'm happy to be back as well and continue where we left off. No, I'm going to go through the folders that I have here on the right side shortly because I covered it in the morning video as well. But then I'm going to add some new information and also start puzzling, especially with this structure over here, and see what it does to potentially the probability. So we do a little bit of live analysis and see what we can come up with. No, but yeah, thanks, Vladimir. Very kind of you. Rarely ever a super comes in. Cool. First of all, we have two triangles. Out of these two triangles, this would be my preferred triangle. I'm not saying the preferred scenario at the moment, right? It's a preferred triangle where we have the high and we are looking for A, B, C, D, E, right? Now, in this particular scenario, wave C might be in already over here after a three-wave ABC to the downside. Actually, later in this live stream, after going through the folders, also want to have a little look over here. Yeah, ABC to the downside here. And then this now very much is a three-wave structure to the upside, right? Not a five-wave move, because for a five-wave move, we had to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 went too deep over here. So we are not looking at a five-wave structure. This is a three-wave structure, at least probability-wise. Probabilities are much higher. This is a three-waver and not a five-waver. Therefore, C, D, could be looking for E, but the invalidation is down here. And I don't actually like to condense a C, D, and an E in such a short time frame if your A and B are so much longer. If this would be your C, this is your D, and here's your E, or somewhere over here eventually. Look how short and how condensed this is. Doesn't look nice compared to this A and this B, right? It's a very short, especially D and E, I suppose, right? Wave C is actually quite nice. It's okay, but your D is very short, your E is very short. So I prefer to be very patient. We do have the bullish CVD divergences. There's absorption going on, but on a 4-hour time frame, they might be leading. I prefer to look on the 15 and 5 minute, and at the moment, that is pretty much neutral. So with regards to this triangle, I still have wave C down here. This, of course, could be the low of your C. But a wave C or a wave D can also be more complex with a double or a triple zigzag, meaning a WXY, finish C here and then move up for a wave D. So that is something I still consider. If we do look for a double zigzag, we take a trend-based sub-extension from the high of B to the low over here to the high that we made. We toggle on the WXY target area, and your target area most commonly for a WXY is the 1 to the 1.236, and the 0.618 is like normal, like it's common, but most common is around that 1 to 1, which happens to be in the target box, support box that I have down here as well in case price does moves down, 61.8k, 62.9k, right? So that's an interesting area. After C, D, and E, we expect continuation to the upside. Now, triangles can be very complex, and something that I always say, I prefer to look for triangles after a wave D is in. And at the moment, that is still very much a question mark. One thing we do see is a lot of the waves here are three-wave structures. And when this happens, a triangle does gain in probabilities, as in a triangle, you want to see at least 4 out of the 5 waves to be zigzags, a 535 or WXY or a WXYXZ, double or triple zigzags, right? So this triangle for me has a higher probability at the moment compared to the one that we have over here. I'm going to cover this one very short. This is a running triangle, lower probability because wave A is so incredibly short compared to B, C, D, and E. And after wave E, we are looking for an impulse to the upside. Weekend, however, is coming up. It is Friday. It's already 3 p.m. now. We haven't seen a very strong impulsive move to the upside unless we're going to think a 1 2 1 2, and we still need to get the 3. Preferably the 3 is then finished before the weekend hits, because weekend generally means sideways price action. So with this wave E over here, we want to see actually a 1 2 3 4 5 and then a 2 during the weekend, but this now became higher probability, a 3-wave structure instead of a 5-wave structure. And therefore, we have to think about a 1 2 1 2 and then a 3, or a diagonal. This is your 1, you get a 2, we get a 3, we get a 4, we get a 5. This is your wave 1. Then you look for a 2 and continuation up, right? Now with regards to a double 1 2, zooming in, if we think about a 1 2 1 2 continuation to the upside, it has to be said that the second wave 1 is a lot longer, and that it can be seen over here. So then we have a 1 2 1 2 and we want to see a wave 3. Second wave 1 is a lot longer than the first wave 1, which is not ideal. The second wave 2 so far though is shorter in time. That's at least something. Quickly checking. Yeah, it's also longer in time. So preferably with a double 1 2, if you have a 1 2 1 2, maybe another 1 2 and then a 3, preferably each follow up, like the next wave 1 and the next wave 2, is a little bit shorter in time and price. Mainly the wave 1s, because a wave 2 over here, the first wave 2 can be a zigzag, sharp and short and deep, and a second wave 2 can be a WXY. Most commonly in a multi double 1 2 or triple 1 2s, and a double or triple 1 2, generally the wave 2s tend to be the same corrective structure. A little bit of education here. Instead of this being a zigzag, this a WXY and this a flat. Generally, if the first one is a zigzag, you expect the next ones to be a zigzag as well. But what we actually like to see is the next wave 1 to be a little bit shorter in price and time compared to the previous wave 1, and that is to do with wave degrees. Your first wave 1 is the highest degree Elliott wave count, right? So in this example, that would be the green one. That's then your highest Elliott wave count. Inside this wave 3, we then have another 1 2 3 4 5. Now we can count this 1 2, right? And this is a sub-degree count of the green wave 3, no? And then inside the blue wave 3, we can then count 1 2 3 4 5, right? So each follow-up is a lower degree, and generally a lower degree Elliott wave 1 2 is shorter in time and price compared to the higher degree Elliott wave count. So that is something to keep in mind with what we see over here. So therefore, probabilities are, because of course this piece of education leads to what I'm going to talk about with the probabilities. The fact that this second wave 1 is longer than the first wave 1 impacts the probabilities negatively for a double 1 2 here. So it just lowers the probabilities a bit. And increases probabilities of simply an ABC compared to a 1 2 1 2, right? So ABC or 1 2 1 2, higher probability for an ABC. And in a finished triangle here, we are then looking for a diagonal, but it's very early to talk about diagonals. I actually don't really like to do that because we have this as a wave 1, and then we need to see 2, and then eventually a 3, 4, and a 5. All of the waves need to be 3-wave structures. Lots of information. If you have any questions, make sure to write them in the chat and I'll come back to them. But I like to share, some educational stuff while we are going at it. Let me clean up the chart here. I saw something else again. One drop with the 19. No idea what this currency is actually. That must be a local one. But one drop. Appreciate it, man. Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream. Jeez, the first one. In the past, I could heart this stuff. Like, no idea why I can't. But one drop. Thanks for getting some buffering. But one drop. Thanks for the 19, man. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. The buffering is, it seems, a little bit increasing. That is not ideal. Guys, if it buffers, if the stream buffers, let me know, because then I'm really gonna, one more time, because then I'm gonna plug in the cable. Stream status now at least is good. So okay, let's hope it maintains, keeps that way. So cool, WXY. Chinese yuan, interesting. Nonetheless, thanks One Drop, very kind rupee. Alan, the most probable scenario right now, that's what we're going to talk about after the analysis. So make sure to stick around. But we're going to talk about that. Polar Bearman, good to see you. There you go. You're caught alive again since I'm back. Good to see you, man. Okay. The WXY. So we spoke about the triangles, right? Now for the triangles, we want to see a continuation of 3 wave structures. In this scenario, WXY, we have a sideways double combo. WXY, wave X went to the 786 Fibonacci, taken from the high to the low of wave W. Because it moved above the 0.7 Fibonacci, which is here, probabilities increase for a sideways double combo compared to a sharp double zigzag to the downside. Zigzag in W, X, zigzag in Y. Preferably X doesn't hit the 0.7 Fibonacci taken from the high to the low of W, which it did. Therefore, in a WXY environment, the sideways double combo has a higher probability. And we talk about a sideways structure, right? Now, for a sideways double combo, however, wave Y is not allowed to be a zigzag if W is a zigzag. Wave W can only be a flat or a zigzag. Now clearly, wave W over here is not a flat. It's a straight line down. For a flat, we want to see this. We didn't see that. So we think about a zigzag here. Then we have X. And then wave Y either has to be a flat or a triangle. At the moment, I got a triangle on my chart. You know, depending on what happens, it's still very, very early days for this triangle, right? You have an A, we need a, or sorry, you then have your A, B, C, D, E, meaning a range during the weekend, sideways price action, and then next week you escape. For a flat, we have A, we want to see B, and then eventually C. That is still very interesting, but in both cases, you expect upside. So that's why I only have one scenario on my chart, because in both of these scenarios, you would expect to take the highs before then at the later stage, potentially the low of this wave W. Now for a flat, at least this resistance area is interesting, 72.5K, 73.6K. So that is of course an area of interest if price moves to the upside. In both cases, again, we are looking for the highs to be taken first compared to the low in this WXY scenario. And then finally, that is actually the only really bearish ones, is a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not the highest probability. Very, very early days to think about diagonals below it. I saw Stuba talking. This is your target area for 3, and 3 has to go below wave 1. Right, so there's not a lot of room for this wave 3 because the invalidation, or it's not actually invalidation, but the 1-to-1, you don't want to hit the 1-to-1. Hitting the 1-to-1 really reduces probabilities for a diagonal. Very early days. Okay. Very early days to talk about a diagonal, but nonetheless I at least wanted to show it. But you can see it has to move below the 1 here, but stay above the 1-to-1, so there's not a lot of room, and generally this scenario at the moment doesn't have the highest probability. That being said, I'm gonna get the cable. Give me 1 minute. You want to have a song, no? You want to have a song while we edit? Let's do the theme song of the channel. let's see what happens. I plugged in the cable. It might also have to do with the fact that I had to use a different stream key, and maybe the stream settings are adjusted to the new key or whatever it is. Because of course usually the bitrate is perfectly fine, but I can't check the bitrate because we are live. So yeah. Sorry for this, guys. Sorry. Let's hope it's better now. Okay, let's continue chatting and see what happens. I also see notifications here. 2 minutes ago, dropped frames. Annoying. I'll make sure to have a little look at fixing it afterwards. Sorry for this. Sorry. Anyway, we spoke about this one. So next up, we already covered this, so I actually don't want to talk about this in the morning video. We spoke about the gap. Okay, so with regards to the probability, oh no, one thing I like to add before we start talking about probabilities is the local price action, right? So we had this move to the upside in a three-wave structure. Probabilities increase. This is a three-waver versus a five-waver. In other words, a corrective structure instead of an impulsive structure, because price hit the 618. And the 618, I actually need a separate template, I think, for the 618 in red. Now the 618 is an invalidation for a wave 4. If we had to think about 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, wave 4 not allowed to hit the 0.618, and we hit the 0.618 before making a new high, making it extremely unlikely that we are in a, well, actually it's invalidated, an impulsive structure. We also hit wave 1 over here with then wave 4, that's also not allowed. So higher probability, this is a three-wave structure. Now when we look at this move to the downside, however, so far, got another notification. So far, it all looks very three-wavy as well. This first structure to the downside, right, looks like a three-waver. Looks three-wavy. Also looks three-wavy. And therefore, this move to the downside at the moment seems to be more corrective than impulsive. We do have some quick moves to the downside, but the general structure of this move to the downside is all very three-wavy, right? ABC, ABC, maybe another ABC, like who cares, right? Like, or this is A, this is your B, and then you get a C, we get another move to the downside, maybe hit the range point of control. But what I mean to say is, at the moment, this structure to the downside looks more corrective than impulsive. And that being said, if this looks more corrective from an Elliott Wave point of view, you would expect to see this high being taken sooner or later. Now, in my mind, I did think about what's the chance of a W, X, Y, X, Z type of move, right? Like a triple zigzag type of move. Now, triple zigzag generally is quite rare and therefore never really preferred unless other things fail, but it is in my mind at least. We also had bearish CVD divergences at the high, right? Helping us to look for downside. And then here on the 15-minute on yellow, right? Lower high on price, higher high on yellow, just on the 15-minute here. Bit of bearish CVD. So I am very patient. This is what I said to silver as well. So this looks to be corrective at the moment, but I prefer to be very, very patient because as it stands, market structure is moving down, lower highs, lower lows. I prefer to see something broken. Give me proof of support, right? Give me proof of support, and then I become interested in case I want to have a new position, right? So we are at support in this area, value area high, point of control, value area low, and this move to the downside at the moment looks also like a corrective structure, not an impulsive structure, increasing probabilities to take this high sooner or later, but I do like to remain very patient. So with regards to the probabilities, they have not really changed compared to this morning. So on the 4-hour time frame, when we look at this range here, we are thinking about the triangles. All of the scenarios I pretty much spoke about in this range have a triangle in them now. A, B, C, D, E, right? That was one. A, B, C, D, E finished, continuation upside, lower probability at the moment. And we have the W, X, and then the Y, within Y potentially also a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and alternatively a flat structure, right? In all of these scenarios, a continuation of the range, which is why I write range over here, has the highest probability, right? We continue ranging, especially once the weekend hits. Generally, we continue ranging. Now, with regards to probabilities, probabilities are higher to take these highs first before looking potentially for the lows over here. Higher probability to take the highs at 71K compared to the lows at 60K first. Because with the WXY, we are looking for a triangle and a move up, you take the highs first. If we look for a flat in wave Y, WX and then a flat in Y, you would also take the highs first before potentially looking for the low. If we look for triangles, then also here in the triangle, you're not going to take 60K. You're going to look for at least the highs to be taken first. C, D, E, upside. In the other triangle, already finished, you also don't want to see C taken here. You want to see a move to the upside. So currently probabilities are higher to look for upside, or at least taking 71K before 60K, right? I'm not too interested if we take this low, yes or no, but at the moment, as mentioned, on the 15 minutes, if I have to add probabilities, then on the 15 over here, this looks more corrective to the downside than impulsive, increasing the probabilities to take this high at a given moment. So we remain patient and see what price is going to give us. So far, streaming quality seems good. So yeah, that is what I wanted to say with regards to the analysis, the typical analysis that people might zoom in for. What I now want to do is do a little bit of research and a little bit of live analysis and thinking, especially with regards to this structure and how it impacts the range. So I'm going to count this differently and see if we can, find something, maybe another scenario, or maybe it can impact other scenarios we already have. With Elliott waves, of course, there's always multiple scenarios. I tend to show the highest probability ones. And also generally I do my, my counting and my thinking off screen, so that when I'm on screen, I can deliver you the stuff. But I like to do a little bit of thinking on stream as well. In particular, have a look at this structure here, especially this move to the upside, and potentially have a look here. But I think I'm pretty clear about this piece, but it very much, I just want to have a look here. So what I'm going to do is put a timestamp in for the analysis, and then we start with or actually it's still analysis. No, it's still analysis. So let me not just put the timestamp in. B channel, mate. B channel, yo, did you win the jackpot? Again, this guy. B channel, another one. He keeps on giving. B channel, what the hell? Bissa channel, thanks for another membership. Jeez. Site Hans Ray, send me an email with your Telegram and your Discord name, and I will bump you up to the silver level instead of bronze, as the you know the gifts tends to be bronze, and I will move you up to silver, so that at least you have some benefit from the gift that you got. So site Hansrij Koens trading at outlook.com is also, I believe, in the description. At least I added it below the videos now, but I'm not sure if it's actually below the live stream. But it's Koens trading. Thanks, Mark. There you go. Appreciate it, man. B channel. Incredible. What a guy. Thanks, B channel. Very, very kind. Very kind. Let me have a quick check here before I start counting. Hawk Merlin Studios, how's married life so far? Exactly the same as before getting married. So nothing changed. In our case, we were already living together. So, you know, like we're not very traditional, or, you know, I don't know what other maybe beliefs and whatnot do, but yeah, nothing changed for us actually. It's the only difference is I walk with a finger, well, with a finger around my ring, with a ring around my finger. So that's the only difference. Especially when I work out, I have to think about this one when I do weights and stuff, because it's annoying. So I have to get it off. But other than that, I'm wearing it the whole day and pretty much got used to it. So opening your Heineken. I got my water. Nice, got my water. But enjoy your beer, mate. Triple top indeed, Christian. I have only wife's sweet beer in the fridge. Careful, people, if you got a push notification from Qcoin yesterday, make sure, especially with all the emails in crypto that you get. A lot of scammers out there. We'll be in Switzerland around June. Okay, so you'll be back then again. I see. What's up, Christian? Good to have you. This is the other Christian. We have two Christians here now. Thanks, Mark. Need to start in your diamond group ASAP. No problem. No problem. It's not going anywhere. At least not at the moment. Hey, Koens, I know you focus on Bitcoin, but if you would consider looking at other charts, as that is all alts excluding top 10. I think like the top 10 could be fun in another altcoin stream. So of course we did the big altcoin stream here just before I left on holiday, right? So a 6.5 hour, almost 7 hour altcoin stream. But I'm definitely interested to do this more often. I had great fun, even though I was very tired at the end. But it was fun to do it. So yeah, probably not in this stream, but a future one. What's up, Rodney? How you doing? Good morning for you. The Americans are popping in, also always with the afternoon live stream. Good to have you here, Rodney. What's up? B channel, Koens is the best and most relaxed traders. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, B channel. B channel has been here for a long time as well. Of course, you're a member for 3 months now, gold badge, but you've been here for a while already on the channel. The channel is 1 year and 2 months old. Well, 1.5 and a little bit. Time flies. Freddie, thank you. Thank you. Long time no see indeed. Enjoy. And Indonesia, it's night there, or should be evening. Evening it is. But I've been to Indonesia once on holiday, backpacking. Polar bear man, coffee time. What's the material composite of your rain? Water. I don't know. Pubudu Taraka. On the lower time frames, it's best to use the linear chart, so log off. If you go to higher time frames, like a weekly, usually above the daily, weekly and higher, you go to the logarithmic chart. Only on altcoins that move a lot in a short period of time do you use log on lower time frames. So if you have this random alt that is pumping 50% in 15 minutes, preferably you do your analysis on logarithmic chart. Because you want to adjust for the percent, how can I say, on the logarithmic scale, you're adjusting for the percentage move. Like $1,000 at 5K from 5 to 6,000 is a lot higher in percentage than from 60 to 61K, and you're adjusting for this on alts that move very quickly. So Yeah, boy. How you doing, man? Welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah, welcome back indeed. Finally back. Hey, took a month, no? But happy to be back. What's up, yeah, boy? Good to have you here. I think I'm actually just gonna write analysis at now puzzling, chatting, Q&A, because we're gonna puzzle as well. So we're gonna do it all. Live chat. Wait. Okay, there we go. Anyway, put this pin message. I bumped myself there. There we go. 8:49 p.m. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed Indonesia. Eh? So I backpacked through Java, then Bali, then Lombok, and then the Gili Islands. And actually, the back of my business cards. These are very old business cards, not gonna lie, but the back of my business card is actually the when I was at the top of the Rinjani mountain. This is the view. I'm not sure if you can really see it, but this is the view that you have looking towards the Gili Islands. You see those little dots there, like the island. So this is actually the top of the Rinjani mountain on the Lombok Island when the sun was coming up. Pretty cool, no? Pretty cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. What's up from Denmark? How you doing, Casper? What's up? Welcome, welcome. And always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I love analyzing the chart. I think we catch to 72K, then pull back. 72K, yeah, so taking the triple top, and we do have resistance just above 72K. And for a flat in a wave Y, that is definitely an idea, right? As covered earlier. So WX and then a flat over here, definitely on the cards. The only thing I do keep in mind is the weekend is coming up. And generally, once the weekend hits, we go sideways and we don't have too much movement. So this is something I think of. So last weekend we had. So this was this here, so pretty much sideways. This here was the price action of weekend 24th of March. That's of course not last weekend. Let's have a little look what happened in the weekends here. Okay, so this was last weekend, very much sideways. This is the week before. Actually, this was quite a volatile weekend here. This was, but then again, you end where you started pretty much. So yeah, price likes to go sideways once the weekend hits, no? So yeah, something that I your chat is not banned. It's banned words through YouTube, or I do ban words that scammers like to use a lot. So sometimes there might be a word. Of course, I try to avoid common words, but if scammers that write comments and stuff below videos, if they use a certain word that is not often used by the community or very rarely used, then I ban that word, just so that I ban the scammers automatically. Not sure, saying we can do a special Sunday. Yeah, exactly, like an altcoin Sunday again. How do you start learning Elliott Waves? Actually got this question this morning as well as a comment on my video. So what I reckon, so first of all, Elliott Waves it's a long process, right? It's one of those types of analysis that does take a long time to learn. Yeah, can't make it any nicer. So Elliott waves, I suppose generally it will take you about 2 years minimum to get a really good feeling of Elliott waves and also being able to get the probabilities right. Now, how to go about learning Elliott waves? First of all, what I recommend is to go to this website, which is there we go, Elite Currency, which is the first link in the open the description, scroll down, go to like education or sources that I used or whatever I called it, and then you have bit.ly/Elliott Wave detailed, EW detailed. That's this link to this website, and this for me is so far the best website that I have found. It doesn't include all of the info. Like actually Elliott Wave information is quite scattered, but this is the website that for me is the most clear website. Some information is not updated. So for contracting diagonal nowadays, wave 3 is allowed to be longer than wave 1. That's not in there, for example. Same by the way with an expanding diagonal where wave 3 what was it, can be shorter. I even got to look myself. It's so rare that it even happens. And especially the WXY or WXY exact section, the complex section is quite limited in its information. But I had another website which unfortunately gave me this error. That's the second link. So yeah, I don't know. It might be out of the run. So I was just checking if there's another website, and I found this one, elliottwavemonitor.com, as this one is called. And this website, I just scrolled through. I haven't read everything in detail, but it looks pretty good so far. So what I have seen looks pretty decent. So I can also recommend this one. It's called elliottwavemonitor.com. Maybe one day I just have to make my own website and put everything on there, like all, you know. But I mean, yeah, that's definitely an idea for the future. At the moment, the only thing I have is the gold membership, which is pretty much the Elliott Wave course. So it's like, I think $25. Most people finish it in a month, and then after that month they go either diamond, silver, or they quit. But they consumed everything you have to know about Elliott Wave. So I would start, to answer your question, by reading the websites and make notes. Not just reading. Get your pen out there, get your notebook, and start making notes, start making drawings, right? Per page, do like one pattern per page and write everything down, right? And then summarize it, just like at university, and then implement it. And the implementation is most important. So then start on empty charts. Try to first count yourself and then watch my update, for example, to see if it aligns or if you have differences. If you do have differences, then why is it different? Because of course, you know, I might not always be correct, but I do have a lot of experience. So luckily for me, most of the time I am on the right side. So people can compare their counts with mine and see, hey, what happens and why is mine different, or is it the same? You know, okay, cool. Is it the same, but is it correct, right? And you can double check yourself. But then you go into implementation, and it's a nice to have, but not a must have. Elliott Wave Principle by Frost and Prechter. So yeah. I always love that question. It's a nice view, absolutely. Come to Indonesia again, give you the best coffee from Bogor. I've been there. I've been to Bogor. Mate, I went there by train, and then I actually got lost because I rented a scooter, and like the streets are crazy, right? There's no rules. When you have your scooter, you just go with the flow. But I went into town and I drove around randomly, not knowing where I was going. I just wanted to scooter around, and I went out of town to the rice fields and all that stuff. Then I wanted to go back, but I forgot the address of my hostel. Mate, I was driving around till midnight, not comfortable, but eventually I found my way back home. So yeah, it's one train ride away. not Johannesburg, Jakarta, and then Bogor. Yeah, it's a nice environment though. Gold and Bitcoin looking strong. Yeah, it's, of course we had a bit of a move down to the downside. I spoke about the local movement here at the end of my analysis, but well, a little bit of a move to the upside. That's good to see. Ah, there you go. Discord is in the description as well. Rob Chrome, I'm 4 months into Elliott Waves and I just now can follow the analysis. Far from self-sufficient, but you're going at it, right? This is what I like to hear. 4 months into Elliott Waves. There you go. And this is good. Like Elliott, I try to explain Elliott Waves as easy as I can in my analysis. I also try to educate people while I'm doing my analysis so that people learn while watching. But I can't avoid using terminology that is, of course, related to Elliott Waves. You know, when I talk about zigzags, I always say like a 535 and a WXY is a 333, or you know, like wave W and wave Y have to be a different structure in a sideways double combo and that sort of stuff, right? Can you explain what? Oh, WXY and a zigzag. Absolutely. So a zigzag. Let me actually put some stuff on the chart, by the way. It looks very empty. Pop, pop, pop. There we go. So a zigzag is a 535. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a zigzag that you label as an ABC. Right? ABC. 535. A WXY is a 333. So this is a 5. Let me put this here. This is a 535. Target box zigzag, right? A WXY is a 333. Now in a zigzag, we're talking about an impulse, correction, impulse. Wave B can be any corrective structure. In a WXY sideways double combo, important there, wave W can only be a flat or a zigzag. So a flat, a BC, or a zigzag, right? So this structure can be part of wave W. So you can have a zigzag in W. X can be any corrective structure. And Y is not allowed to be the same as W. So if the W can be a zigzag or a flat, wave Y can be a zigzag, a flat, or a triangle, but is not allowed to be the same as W in a sideways double combo WXY. Now in a sideways double combo, we wave X can retrace to the 382 all the way up till even above wave W. There's another WXY. Hopefully I'm not going to confuse you now, but this is a double zigzag. You probably want to forget about this one when you start studying at the beginning, because this becomes a bit more advanced. WXYs are probably one of the more complex, I mean, it's called complex corrections, but they're difficult to learn. So a sharp WXY, wave X shouldn't hit the 0.7 fib taken from the high to the low of W, preferably, right? If so, it really reduces probabilities that this can happen. And here we want to see a zigzag in a W, any corrective structure in X, a zigzag in Y. Now the most common retracement pattern in wave X tends to be a zigzag, and also in a wave B. Zigzags tend to be very common. And also wave B in a flat. So yeah. Fundamental gold. Actually, there was a question in Discord today. Maybe someone here wants to answer. Was it here? Someone wrote something about Forex, I believe. Something. Oh, here. Snaky Eyes asked, anyone trades Forex? I don't think anyone at that moment in time responded. Now, I don't trade Forex myself, but hey, if you trade Forex and you want to talk with someone that trades Forex, make sure to chat to Snaky Eyes. Or snake eyes. Snaky eyes. Mark, I think the beer is affecting you. What's up, Mr. Editor? Abuzni Sok, how you doing, man? How would you explain Elliott Wave's theory to a child? Sure. I know what you're trying to aim for, Abuzni Sok here. How would I explain Arbuzni Sok, how would you explain Elliott Wave theory to a child? Elliott waves is the term used to identify the price movement, like the waves of price, no? Like, how can I, like, to a child? I mean, if I have to explain it to a child, how would you explain Elliott wave theory to a child? Well, Elliott wave theory, as the name implies, is about wave structures, and the price, like price, moves following a set of rules. Like how would you even say this? Not explain it to a child. I mean, shit, it's even hard to explain to adults. If I want to make it very, very simple, how would you explain Elliott wave theory to a child? I would explain Elliott wave theory to a child by saying that Elliott waves is a form of, Elliott waves is a strategy where you identify how price moves to... Oh, I got it. I think I got it. I had to think. Now I need to know how I can say it in English. So Abuzni Sok with the question, right? How would you explain Elliott wave theory to a child? In Elliott waves, we use past information, like price information, to predict future price movements by looking at how price has moved, like the waves price is like the waves price prints on the chart, I suppose it is. So if I have to explain it to a child, in Elliott waves, we use old data to predict where price might go by using waves on the chart that price printed previously. And then we use these waves to give us probabilities of what might happen after. I mean, I can't make it simple. Damn it. That's a shitty question. Children should not do this. Oh, what is this? Explain Elliott wave theory to a child. Yeah, how do you use Arbuzni Sok? How would you explain Elliott wave theory to a child? Elliott wave theory is the art of identifying previous wave structures, and a wave structure is how price moves either to the upside or the downside to then identify the probabilities of waves in the future that are not yet printed. So based on previous information and the waves that have formed previously in the past, we can use that information to get probabilities 80-20, 90-10, 60-40 to either seeing price move up or down in waves as well, right? So that is how I guess I would explain it to a child and answer your question in this case. I can't make it much easier. Okay, do some Elliott waves on Coinbase. I only focus on Bitcoin now, but we will do like an altcoin, and I can also include stocks. Maybe I can do a stock stream one day. We did an altcoin stream of 6.5 hours, so a stock stream could be pretty fun. maybe like one day in the week, I should do either a stock or an alt stream or, you know, like Forex stream or that sort of stuff. Fractals everywhere. Yeah. Simple as you would not explain. Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Would you take a 4-hour candle in the lower time frame counted? Would you take a look at the actual 4-hour candle? I mean, in the actual 4-hour candle, this would be a 1, 2, and as price is moving, we might see an impulse on the 4-hour. So when did this candle start? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is here. Some volume coming in as well. We don't have bullish CVD, but price is simply moving up and CVD is following, so that's fine. Probabilities actually might play out before the weekend. So we have some volume coming in as well. 1, 2. Like as mentioned earlier, right, when we spoke about this section in the analysis, it looks corrective, not impulsive. Now at least we have changed the market structure to the downside as well. And looking at the volume coming in, we might actually see an impulse to the upside. Now, if we get a candle with a higher amount of volume, that is when this can be counted as either a double or triple 1, 2, and then you get your wave 3, which then is the highest volume candle, which at the moment you don't yet have. So because now, like that, now the highest volume candle is here. So 1, 2, you would think 3, 4, and then a 5, volume increasing as price moves up. But if we print another candle on higher volume, we might have a couple of 1, 2s in that case. It's nice though. Clouds are not made with straight edges. Trees are not circles. They're not triangles. What they are is something very, very different indeed. Yo, on fractals, MF Barnsley on fractals. Maybe MF Barnsley also has an idea on how to explain Elliott waves to a child. Oh, 62K. Co, I guess Co is Kun. Some people call me Co, but now as mentioned, like in the analysis, the move down looks corrective instead of impulsive, increasing probabilities to look for the high. But we prefer to be patient, and we get a bit of volume, found support on the previous range. That's very nice. And we had a solid move to the downside. This is quite a retracement as well. So nice bounce. Grab the liquidity below, hit the value area high, and a bit of a move to the upside. And together with this looking more like a corrective structure than an impulsive structure, seeing this move to the upside now is nice. How is it possible to draw waves on a chart according to Elliott without first uploading it to the stock? How is it possible that the waves follow the rules? Waves are printed by psychology. So if you have a large enough group of people buying and selling a certain asset, that is when Elliott waves becomes effective, because Elliott waves is the representation of the psychology of a large group of people. And if the group, in other words, if the amount of traders, investors in a certain asset is big enough, you will automatically get Elliott waves. Now, once a new coin is listed, very often at the beginning, you get either a range or a move towards the downside, like a spike up and then a move down, right? And eventually, like I never like to I always count from the low. So when you have a brand new chart, the spiky stuff, I always skip that. But eventually the chart is going to follow Elliott waves, and I start counting from the low, and I disregard everything that happened before the actual low was in on this altcoin, let's say. So yeah, waves are printed following the rules, as the rules are in the end based on psychology of a large group of traders. Do you think that traders create charts and they are not preloaded into stock? I'm talking about Bitcoin, of course, not about Forex. It doesn't really matter what kind of asset you talk about, as of course we talk about people, and yeah, we do have AI and we have bots and all that stuff, but with regards to how price is moving, if you have enough liquidity, enough people, Elliott waves, and the bots and the AI are programmed. You know, they have a certain rules, they have certain codes, they are looking for Fibonacci, and you know, you can count it. Yeah, I never had problems. Also, some people ask me like, oh yeah, now that you have bots coming in, do you notice anything different? No. With regards to counting, not really, actually, not at all. It still counts very nicely. Sometimes counts are easy, sometimes difficult. It doesn't really matter. It's all part of Elliott waves. So yeah. There is still the possibility for a flat, by the way. But then we do want to see a wave 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we get a bit of a range here, and then another spike, then you could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finish. And then the question is A, B, C, down, and then a move up. Or you have 1, 2, and then a move up. That depends on the range. As this move down, again, it looks more corrective than impulsive. So W, X, Y, X, Z is still on the card, unless this becomes too big, too high. So you have W, X, Y, flatten the second X, and then you get your Z, and then you start here over the weekend. You're going to range at about 65, 66, range, and there you go. Or we are finished here, and this is your last 3 waver. Difficult to say at the moment. It doesn't really matter, like such low time frame counting. The probabilities haven't changed, so I generally don't really like to go to the 5 minute or really look into this. Generally, the probabilities are towards taking the triple top, right, before taking 60k lows potentially at a later stage. And more locally here at the end of the analysis, this move down looks more corrective than impulsive, increasing probabilities to take this high at a certain stage. No. So yeah. Daily open 68.5. Oh, that's, I see. I think that's very close to the point of control. 68.9. Yeah, we have a little point of control, 68.9. Yeah, stock stream could be very interesting indeed. Could be fun, eh? Do a little like stock stream. I would explain how you see the river move and flow is how the charts move. I wanna go too deep into this, but yeah, one can agree. Of course, with regards to the water in a river, you have the path already. So, of course, the water in the river can move around, but it follows whatever wherever the river is designed to go. Usually, most of them are designed, of course. Not all. Many of the bigger ones are, in a way. Well, waiting for my first bull run. Waiting for your first bull run. My friend, the bull run started at 15K. We're now at, or we touched 70 something. But based on the probabilities on a weekly time frame, we still have higher prices to go. Of course, weekly time frame, right? Not 15-minute. So we're like making more all-time highs, going above the current high. So yeah, we're very much en route, of course, moving ever so close to the 100K. I can't be patient. I'm scalping Bitcoin as I'm listening to you. Who cares? As long as you make profit, right? You need your own strategy, your own plan, and if it works nicely, people should congratulate you. So it's nice that you can scalp Bitcoin, right? I'm not much of a scalper. I'm more a day trader, and then for Elliott Waves, I'm more swingy. But yeah, welcome, Jeroen. By the way, welcome. How you doing? Gotta go. Good luck, Rob. How much time are you doing Elliott Waves after learning? Do you manage to get good win rates in your trades? That answer is yes. And with regards to how long do I'm doing Elliott Waves since February, or I'm learning. I started learning Elliott Waves in February 2020. Damn, when did I? 1 second, I gotta check something. It's early 2020. 2021. Okay. I happen to know when I started trading, I also became a host on a television show, Bots TV, which was about the financial markets, and that's how I got into trading. So I started learning about Elliott Waves in February 2021. So that's when I started, and I felt I became like I started to get really good at it after about 2 years, which is also when I launched the YouTube channel. And I have my own business also outside of trading, and during the COVID years, the pandemic, I had a lot of time on my hands, so I studied Elliott Waves and trading relentlessly, and that helped me to actually get to the level I am in about 2 years. But Elliott Waves is definitely takes long to get the hang of it. And also if I take Elliott Wave related trades, they're also in the diamond group, so the diamond membership. I think that bots don't influence that much as implementable rules based. Yeah, so it's kind of tries. Yeah, exactly. It's like emotion is inside the bot there. We see very strong on diagonal support. Do you also integrate those? Yes, I don't only use Elliott Waves as purely Elliott Waves as they are. On my charts, you will always also see horizontal levels. The target boxes are areas of support or resistance. So yes, I do use other forms of analysis, volume as well with over here, the fixed range volume profile. So Fibonacci, of course, horizontals. Yeah. But I generally like to use volume related tools. Can you explain how your course works? The best explanation for that is actually, is there a link in the description to the membership? I'm not even sure. I have no idea. Guys, I just came back from South Africa. Hey, after a month of being gone, I have no idea anymore. What's in my comments, like in the description? Jeez, I have no idea. Let me have a look here. Did I write it? Because there's a video. Oh yeah, there is. So if you open a description, then you have YouTube, and then the second link, YouTube membership, and then there's a link. That video shows you more about what is inside gold. And there I also show like the playlists and stuff. So that's I would recommend to have a look there. But it covers everything Elliott Wave related, plus some other tools that I like to use as well. I only teach what I use. We see, oh yeah. Haikon, can you briefly show how you find order blocks? Generally, an order block is a candle that goes the opposite direction of a move of the candle afterwards. I guess that's an easy way of saying it. It's a little bit cheeky saying it that way, but this over here, for example, in the 1 hour time frame, you have a move down, one candle up, and then a quick move. This then becomes your order block, right? So that is then acting as an area of resistance, and you can find order blocks on any time frame. Currently, also here on the weekly, we have this one. So price moving up, right? We have one red wick, and then boom, we continue. This is a weekly order block, right, on the weekly chart. We had another one over here, by the way. Oh, let me turn this off. This here, also price moving down. We have a little bit of a break, right? A little bit of a break, price moving down. One gray candle on my chart acting as resistance, order block, right? So you can find them on any time frame, 1 hour, 4 hour, it really doesn't matter. What matters is what time frame do you like to use. And I don't really like this. Let's see if there's a proper one. I guess maybe I don't like that. Not here. 4 hour doesn't show me too much. But yeah, you know what I mean, no? No. Anyway. On the 1 hour, that's the most recent one, so I can use this as an example. But it's like a single candle that goes against that local trend, and the stronger order blocks are the ones where after the block you get a bigger move. Those are the nicest. Are we going to moon or not? What's up, Locksky? Of course, I mean moon. I don't see price going to all-time high before the weekend, but yeah, we are still very much in a ranging ranging environment. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave C. You might even have another A, B, C in here. I'm just very patient with local price action. But moon, I'm not thinking about moon probabilities, right? On the chart on the 4 hour are higher to take these highs before these lows on the 4 hour time frame, and very, very locally here, this move to the downside so far looks more corrective than impulsive, which increases probabilities sooner or later to take this high. But I think if we take that high, I mean, we might as well just take the triple top now. But yeah, patience. And the weekend is approaching, and once the weekend hits, generally we are ranging. So yeah, this always greener. That's like simply a nice support resistance line, right? Many people use trend lines. These can be very effective if used well. And diagonal lines, horizontal lines, simple support resistance areas, they can be very effective. Yeah. So you find yourself a nice diagonal line and you pull it through, and that line can indeed be one of the confluences you use as support or resistance. Where is TP? That depends on your plan and your strategy. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to advise you on the trade, the stop loss, or the TP. The only thing I can talk about is probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view, and the support and resistance areas that I have identified as being relevant. So the support area that is relevant are the 3 lines on the chart, which is the volume levels of the previous range. And well, we have price simply, like, correctively moving to the downside. We do have some resistance above us, daily naked point of control. Then around 69.8k we have some resistance. Doesn't mean we'll get there, but that is all I can do. Even in diamond, of course, in diamond, like, people can they learn how I trade with regards to my main strategy, and also Elliott Waves, and the setups are shared and stuff, so it's very clear where the TP is. But most important is that people learn about the strat, so they can do it themselves. Even when I'm not there, like when I was gone in March, people they can still trade, and that's nice. So just wondering why you're not using the 854. It's a great, I think that, I'm not sure if that is the standard when you start, but based on all the studying of Elliott Waves, the 886 is the one mentioned. So I that's why I use it. I don't have anything about the 854, but I use 886 because of Elliott Waves. So yeah, that's why, I suppose. Another additional answer to the question, where's the TP area? So if you want to, I suppose, be more confident in your trading, because it's actually a confidence question as well as not having a solid plan question, what you have to do is create a plan where, based on statistics, your most profitable target, your best risk to reward ratio. So there are 6 steps. Hey, are we ready, chat? Are we ready? The first time I'm going to say this since I'm back from South Africa. There are 6 steps that you have to take to develop a strategy that will give you a high probability of becoming a profitable trader, where you will have confidence in yourself. So you don't have to look for confidence on YouTube channels, right? Now, I don't mind answering educational questions, but I can't answer these type of questions because I'm not an advisor. So step number 1, and I have so if people are interested, like new people, because the people that are here already more often, they know exactly what I'm going to talk about, and they have seen my Excel sheets. But if you're new, feel free to ask about it. But step number 1, right? Try as many free tools as you can. Go to TradingView, click on these different things, and try these tools. Learn these tools. You can find so much information online about how these work, and if you don't know, then ask during live streams. I'm happy to show it. But learn these free tools, right? I don't recommend paying for some random indicator that gives you a green dot and a red dot and whatever not. Try the free stuff first. And you see a few in my favorite bar. You can also use free indicators. There's many. These are some of the favorites I have, even though I don't use indicators. These are the ones that I have in my favorite list. But you can search for anything, and there's so much free stuff. There must be something that you will eventually like, which then leads me to step 2. So step 1, try as many free tools as you can. Step 2 is find your favorites and start building statistics on them, right? So get your Excel sheet out, or any other software, but I used Excel. Get Excel, write down your favorite tools and build statistics on your favorite tools, meaning you write a statement. For example, if you like to use the VWAP, what happens when price hits the VWAP, right? So you can write a statement saying, if price hits the VWAP, it retraces back, like it bounces for 0.5%, and then 1%, and 1.5%, and 2%, and 2.5%. And then you say yes or no, right? Did that happen or did it not happen? Did it happen? Did it? And you write statement, 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 statement on that particular tool. You just write a couple of statements, and then a column with yes, column with no, column with total. You calculate it. and you build statistics. And this is how you get insights in what happens. So that's step number 2, right? So that is find your favorite tools, build statistics on them. Then step number 3 is combine your different, combine few of your favorite tools that based on statistics have performed pretty well. And now build statistics on the combination of tools. And this is where you start building a strategy, because now you're going to combine different tools and build statistics on the combination. And because of your statistics on individual tools, you are able to have rules in step 3. So if you like to use the golden pocket and the VWAP, right? So you have the VWAP, it moves during the day, and you also tracked the golden pocket, right? So you also happen to check that one. Every time the golden pocket and the VWAP are at the same area, because you have tracked statistics on the golden pocket, you've tracked statistics on the VWAP. For example, these are 2 tools. You can use more, maybe also naked point of controls and whatnot. You combine a few different tools, at least 2, and then if the golden pocket and the VWAP align, what happens? And you build statistics, right? If price hits the VWAP and the golden pocket, do we get a bounce? If so, how long is it, right? You can write a statement. Price hits the combination and bounces for 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%, 2%, 2.5%. If I would have traded this and put my stop loss at the 6.5 or the 6.6, would I be stopped out? Yes or no? If I put it 1% away, 1.5% away, 2% away, is my stop loss hits? Yes or no? What's my risk reward ratio? Data. I know it sounds like a lot, but it is a lot. I can't make it easier. So step 3, combine some of your favorite tools, build statistics, right? It takes time, but do you want to be profitable or are you guessing, right? Data avoids the guesswork. Step 4 is you tweak and adjust the combination of your favorite tools. So you've now collected data on the first combination in step 3. And now in step 4, you're going to add another tool or you're going to remove a tool, and you see what it does with your statistics as you try to improve either your risk reward ratio or your win rate, right? In step number 5, you start trading the combination, which is your strategy. So you start trading your strategy with a low amount of money, a low start slow, right? Start slow, low portfolio size. Start trading with little money and work on your trading psychology. And I would recommend this book, The Mental Game of Trading. I'm not affiliated, okay? I'm just because I share it because it's a great book. Much better than Trading in the Zone. Very outdated. This one is by far my favorite trading psychology book. Doesn't even come close to anything else. So work on your trading psychology in step 5. And then in step 6, that is where you can slowly up the budget, right? Your trading portfolio by putting money in. And you want to increase that money slowly because you have to get used to bigger losses, not the bigger wins, right? Getting used to bigger winners is easy. Getting used to bigger losses, that's what's going to fuck you up. So these are 6 steps to really increase your probabilities of becoming a consistent, profitable trader, right? Trading based on data, not on feeling, not on guessing, not on thinking this or that will happen. You're trading based on data. And what it does is it removes a lot of the emotional components that people struggle with. Of course, it's not easy trading in general, even when you have a strategy based on data. But data will help you to avoid a certain level of doubt, level of revenge trading, whatever, because you know, based on your statistics, that your win rate is so many percent. Your risk reward ratio is this, right? So for example, with my main strat, the target is always, so I trade Elliott Waves, right? But my main strategy actually is a day trading strat, which is based on data. That strategy has a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, sharp. My target is always 3 RR. If it goes to 2 and it doesn't hit my target, there's no TP, it's a break-even trade, right? And I have rules and all that stuff. So collect data, and it will help you with your trading psychology, trading management, your profitability, but it does take a lot of work. It will likely take you months. And a strategy doesn't have to be difficult. You can use trend lines, you can use patterns, but you still need to collect data. And that's the problem with people buying indicators at the beginning, because they got sold. If you buy a green dot, you become profitable, and if you buy the red dot, you become profitable. I don't know, or sell the red dot. It's bullshit, because you still need to use that whatever indicator you paid a couple of $100 for in a strategy. So basically, the 6 steps I explained, you still have to do all 6 of them. But now, before you even started step 1, or pretty much at step 1, you've invested hundreds of dollars into something, and you still need to go through the whole thing, because it doesn't work by itself. It still works in a context of other stuff as well. So start with the free stuff. You don't need to pay for like indicators and things, right? But collect data, and this is what you don't see on the internet. You don't see the hard work that happens in the background, the boring stuff, right? So yeah. Data will help you. Anyway, yeah, nice answer to that question. So we were the earthquake. Oh wait, that's, yeah, of course you're in Thailand. Another one. Yeah. Crazy stuff happening. Do you have any open position? Yes. I'm in New York. We never have earthquakes. It was small, but we definitely had one. Just confirmed with people living miles away. Stay safe, my friends. Stay safe. Oh. What would you expect will happen with today's chart till the end of the day on Bitcoin? I see some smaller coins being on the range of possible reversal to the upside. Well, the probabilities, right, were higher for price to move up. As explained in the morning update, as well as the analysis in the live stream. You can go back in time, because on the 15-minute the probabilities were higher. This is corrective than impulsive, right? So higher probability to eventually take this high. And zooming out in this range, probabilities are higher to take these highs before this low. Maybe at a later stage. Not saying that we are going to take the low, but in general, we're looking for the highs to be taken first anyway, and then we see what happens there. So, yeah, where would we end today? I mean, we are moving to the upside now. Let me see how volume is doing. I would like to see volume increasing a bit more, though, to really get a wave 3 feel here, like locally, that is. But the end of the day, I mean, there's still a couple of hours left, so we have resistance here at around 69.8. The weekend is around the corner. I don't wanna be too bullish. Of course, the probabilities speak for themselves, but giving exact, like, where would we be the end of the day? Now, I would like to range below or at resistance. So that would be 69.8-ish, or move up to 73-ish here. If we do move to the upside before the weekend hits, and then range, and then we'll see what happens. But I don't like to be that bullish, because we have a bit of a move to the upside here, right? But first give me the high. Yeah, probabilities are higher. This is a corrective structure compared to an impulsive structure, so eventually we're looking for the high to be taken. But yeah, we're not out of this range yet, right? We didn't take the high yet, so let's see. At a meeting, so just stopping in to like the stream. What's up, Dave Digital? In a meeting. jumping in the stream. Pop in a like. Yo, what's up, Dave? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Cheers. Take a picture, smoke it around. So happy you're back. What's up, GT Sleeper? How you doing, man? Good to see you around again. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. It's good to be here. So it's been a great month. I did a lot of things in that month, especially as friends came over that didn't know South Africa. So we went surfing, hiking. We did all sorts of touristic stuff as well, with the group, with people, with family. And now happy to be back to continue grinding, continue trading, continue grinding, continue speaking as well. Next week I have 3 speaking gigs. I think 2 of them are webinars and 1 is offline. And the week after, on the 16th, I have another speaking gig. Then of course we have YouTube, and it's not just grinding and content and being active and stuff. I'm also thinking about what's next, right? So actually during the holiday I didn't think much about what's next. Only the last few days some ideas came, but you'll find out. 1 second here. Okay, back again. 4.8. Jeez, what's up with the earthquakes, eh? Indicators are a scam. Yeah, that's an opinion. Look, I don't mind, whatever people are using. One can. I know. For example, many Elliott Wave traders use RSI, and I know it can work, especially to identify a wave 3 versus a wave 5. But it's all about how do you use it in the context of whatever you're looking for, and have you built statistics? So I'm of the opinion that anything can work as long as you build statistics and get insights in how a certain indicator reacts at certain moments, and you can use the statistics to then trade. So, but I'm not an indicator user as well. You won't really see me use any indicators, but it doesn't mean they don't work, because they can absolutely work, but they're just not for me. They're not my style. So, and it depends on people's style. I'm also not really a trend line trader, like pulling diagonal. I never have diagonal trend lines on my chart, except for when we have a pattern like a triangle or whatever. So yeah, but I do believe they can work as long as people use them in the right context and preferably collect data. Should use up to 5x leverage. I agree. Set your liquidation price at unreasonable levels. Preferably use a stop loss actually as well. So of course you can use your liquidation as a stop loss, but I would recommend using a stop loss, I suppose, before getting liquidated. Yeah, plan is an important one. GT Sleeper, welcome to the member club. What's up? You got a nice bronze badge behind your name now, as this is your first month, and then next month it will be silver, and then gold, and then you'll go through all sorts of other colors. But GT Sleeper, welcome to the club. Appreciate you joining, bronze man. Thanks for the support. What's up? Really cool. Back from South Africa, and they're the first live stream new member joining. Thanks, GT Sleeper. The news happened already. Yes, 1:30 p.m. Central European Time, which is a couple of hours ago. Vitalian with the Goku pick, back at it again. How you doing, mate? The artist of Dragon Ball died a couple of weeks ago. I believe when I was in South Africa, I got the news. Man, that's unfortunate. I actually wonder if they're gonna ever make a series again after Super. I hope so. That would be nice. Like if we talk about anime, my favorite anime by and also kind like honestly kind of the only one I watched because I was hooked since I was young is Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, everything. I watched it all. But since then, since Super, nothing happened. I remember every time a new episode came out on Sunday, I was in bed. The episode was out as it came out overnight, and in the morning I was watching for 20 minutes because the episodes were 20 minutes. The resistances, we are at a little bit of resistance very soon, 68,950. However, I actually don't really expect too much of this resistance, and 69,800 to me is more interesting. And after that, it is pretty much the highs here, 71.8k, and then we have the resistance box. Now, if we pull a fib from the high to the low, then the daily naked point of control is in confluence with the 886. And what you do see at like quite often is after an 886 touch, price going to the golden pocket before potential continuation. Golden pocket is actually important after an 886 touch. So let's see if we do get a reaction at the daily naked point of control, but I would expect to see the higher daily naked point of control hit actually. So these are like the resistances. Liquidation grab 68,200. 68,200. Probably that's a point of control here, right? But yeah, that's a very, I guess that you talk about the point of control of this range because there's not really a significant high here or something. Bearish CVD on the 15. At the moment, there's no bearish CVD divergences because we gotta compare that with the high, and at the moment, we don't have bearish CVD divergences on the 15. Abhijit Sinaroy, after I started to follow your videos, I stopped using indicators. Yeah, I mean, of course, people are free to use whatever they like, but I don't use them. I can imagine it might impact some people's style as like, oh, they see me doing this, and this, so they might try and test that themselves. They can be very effective, but again, it just depends on the context, like other tools you like to use, and preferably also data that you track. Learning messy, learning about Elliott waves, I can imagine, but yeah, Elliott wave information can be very scattered. But the second link I have in my description, actually the link is now, there's an error, which is a bit unfortunate. The first one is still working, the second one gets an error, but I did find a potential new website, which I first still really want to read through this and see what they say is actually correct. Because there's also Elliott Wave websites that like, they don't respect all the rules. I don't know. So I actually want to read it, but it looks pretty good so far. I haven't really read through it. It's called Elliott Wave Monitor, but my favorite is this one nonetheless. Also here, it's not 100%, but it's a 95% like good info in here. It's really, really good. I really like the pictures as well, where they give you information about what is common, what is less common, like in targets and stuff. So that's very good. Koen, could you show an indicator I like to use? It's called Bjorgum TSI. TSI, Bjorgum TSI. I have no idea. Okay, let's have a look. What do we see? Higher high on the chart, lower high on the indicator. Is this like an RSI? Is this a divergence? Here, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high. I mean TSI, RSI. I don't know. There's also colors I see. It's very accurate. Trade whenever the line crosses. Ah, I see. I see. Yeah. Also, this. So whenever the line crosses, depending on the time frame, I can imagine. But then you want to collect data. So what my question would be, on a certain time frame, what is the win rate? So if you like to test this indicator, right, that Mark mentioned, what I would do is I grab this indicator, I go to the 15-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, and I am going to check like, hey, if the line is crossing, right, and you enter a trade, as that's that's what Mark says. Is it a profitable trade or is it a loser? If it was profitable, how much percentage was it, right? How far away do you put your stop loss from your entry? Did you get stopped out before? Yes or no? So I would collect data and see how accurate this indicator is, and then also what is the risk to reward ratio on trading it on a certain time frame. That's how I would go about it. And this is an easy indicator to track because you literally just look at the crosses and you just like you look for the cross, winner, loser, and all. Like it's an easy way. But yeah, you can use it as an additional tool, or if people are interested in just trading that, then but you need data. So I can't speak about the indicator because I've never used it, but that's how I would learn about the indicator. Yeah, exactly. Go backtest. That's the best. Yeah. Not focusing on altcoins today. So I do have an altcoin stream, which is on my YouTube channel over here on the homepage. This one. And Solana is one of the coins that we went over. It's already a few weeks old, but we did high time frame analysis. $25K. that's far, yeah. Hopefully you're in good profits. Daily open hit, let's see. Yeah, weekend there will be a range. Well, with a triangle, so if we are forming a triangle, I'm not really sure if you start here with your triangle or here. But with regards to a triangle, if this is your A, that's fine. But then in wave B, you want to have a 3-wave ABC zigzag. If one of the waves is more complex in a triangle, it's usually C or D, right? It's by far most commonly wave C or wave D and not wave B. So preferably B is a 5-3-5, 5-3-5 zigzag. However, that has to be a diagonal with regards to all the overlap. But wave 3 is longer than wave 1. Doesn't invalidate a leading diagonal, but it does lower probabilities of a leading diagonal. So then you what you want to look for is an A, B, and then a wave C, and then you go up again to then create your A, B, C, D, E. And then you would go down after E. A, B. This is too sharp for a C. It's not a 3-wave structure yet. So you would still want to see this, but your wave A is already very long, getting close to the high. So then you need a deep retracement and then another move. If this is your A, B is already in, and you're looking for a C. So it's for me, like I like to only look for triangles once a wave D is in. When we only have a wave A or an A and B, I'm usually not looking for triangles. What's up, Aman? How you doing, man? What you say, by the way, about the weekend is true. Generally, the weekend is a ranging environment. It can be a triangle, WXY. It can be anything, of course, but ranging, usually, yes. Do you think it will drop now? just a bit of resistance, but the probabilities mentioned earlier, also in the analysis at the end of the analysis, haven't changed. So probabilities are higher. This is a corrective structure to the downside, increasing probabilities to sooner or later take this high. Taking this high, yeah, we have a bit of resistance, but the triple top is not too far away, which on the 4-hour chart is definitely an area of interest. Probabilities are high to take 71k before potentially at a later stage 60k. So currently the highest amount of volume, this is important, is in the high here. So from an Elliott Wave point of view, what we actually want to see is at least one more high without price dropping to the 0.618, because we want to look for an impulse. The highest amount of volume most commonly in an impulse is in a wave 3. So you would be looking for a 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, and then you want to see a wave 3. If this is the high on the highest volume and we go down and hit the 618, and I would probably take it from this low to the high, then it's very likely it's a wave C. And then you have a finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending on high volume, which tends to be wave C-ish. And in that case, you are then looking for a flat structure in an ABC. In that case, we can then count this as a 3, 3, and we would be looking for another 3 where we have support. This is pretty much the only support I have to the downside, to be honest. It's not much left. So, and we now, what did we hit? The 786? Yeah, 786. So it will not change the probabilities, like the general probabilities, but it will take price a lot longer. So yeah, daily open was here as well, as Mark mentioned. I have a little bit of resistance above daily naked point of control. So yeah, but the general probabilities haven't changed. See, can you explain, is it just CVD trend going opposite to price trend? So a CVD, so that's the CVD tool, cumulative volume delta. I have a whole video on CVD as well. I think it might be best for me to actually go here, Discord. Good to know. CVD one pager. So a bullish CVD divergence. Sorry for the quality. It's just that, you know, I'm zooming in. A bullish CVD divergence here. Higher low on price, lower low on the CVD, right? So price, higher low, CVD, lower low. Preferably at support or some other confluences. Bearish divergence on the CVD is a lower high on price and a higher high on the CVD. You can download the one pager in Discord. I also have a whole video on CVD on the channel. It's here actually. This one. 17,000 views. Holy moly. We're getting close to the 20. Not bad. Why is Elliott Wave material so scarce? Yeah, it's like scattered on different websites, but I think it has to do with the fact that it's very difficult, and it's a lot. It's Elliott Waves consists of so much information, yeah, and it's a difficult way of analyzing the chart as well because of all the information and all of the rules. So I guess that's a reason why info tends to be scattered, and that's also why I believe getting your information from only one website is not great. You want to use different websites and you can ask questions to YouTubers and people that have experience as well, and then put it all together. And also use it yourself so you see what works. But I think it's the difficulty of what, of all the information and Elliott waves. Liquidity heat map. Yeah, I know people using that as well. This is nothing. This is only many EMAs. Oh yeah, the indicator. Yeah. Lucifer. How come gold is doing so well? Is there any correlation with Bitcoin? I'm personally not involved with gold, so I wouldn't really be able to tell you what's happening with gold. And also, I don't really know the relationship that gold has with Bitcoin, to be honest, because I don't do anything with gold. Yeah, wouldn't be able to answer your question there. The simple question is, people are buying, I guess, if it goes up. Any live trade you're taking right now? Well, I'm not taking a trade right now, but I am in a live trade, yes. Rolf, because nobody likes to use Elliott waves because it's so difficult. Traders nowadays only like to rely on indicators. Whenever they see a green candle, they go all in. I guess there is a certain element of truth there, because it is a very, it just takes a long time to learn Elliott waves. It takes a long time. So it's not a quick money grab type of strategy. I suppose that when people develop themselves as a trader, there's not a golden thing. Like you will always have to, highly advised, collect data and build experience, make a strategy. But Elliott waves takes a few years to learn, and that requires a lot of patience, dedication. It's not one YouTube video. Like even with, so in the gold membership, as mentioned earlier, I have the Elliott wave course. All of my knowledge is in there, but that by itself, like, you still have to implement it, you have to test, you have to try yourself. Like, I can give all the information that I use, which is more of a, like, all of, like, online, very scattered, but in the course, it's of course all the info is there. And it still requires people to implement the information, and that is where the struggle is. So the information is one, but then implementing it, seeing the waves, eyeing probabilities, that is where practice, and it's the practice that kicks you in the butt. That's what takes so long. I'm not really a big fan of your dress code. Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for this shit. Poof. Sure, it was a good decision. So far, so good. Yeah, I know. Like, I was like, huh? Is your Bitcoin domination count still valid? This is important for Bitcoin. I actually, like, just before going to South Africa, I spoke about the domination chart in a gold live stream as well. Because it's interesting that with the domination chart, you can never go above 100 or below 0, right? It's a percentage pretty much. So what is it? BTC. Where am I typing? BTC 1? No. So that's actually it. I think that was very interesting because of course I have a count, right? Pop like this. All nice, all good. We got some resistance levels above. But the interesting thing is you're always going to be in a range. You're never going to go above 100%. And you're never going to go below 0. So counting market cap dominance, I think will require a different way of analysis where, yeah, we can count a 5-wave structure up and then a 3-wave move down, and then we could, you know, look for another 5-wave up, but then we are going to look for 3. It's almost like that's why I have the channel. You're going to be moving here like 5 up, 3 down, 5 up, 3 down, 5 up, 3 down. It's not like 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, and we go to above 100% because you can't. So, yeah. Interesting, no? Another thing is the amount of altcoins and stuff coming in. Like, what is it going to do? Are we going to see a slow decline of the tops, right? First high, second high, third high, fourth, we don't know. But it's a lot different counting the Bitcoin dominance than a price chart. So even though I did count the Bitcoin dominance chart, it's not, you can't use the regular Elliott Wave stuff because it doesn't really work the same way. No? Oop. Yeah, exactly, Taran. Yeah. Vegas Nick, I just want to say thank you for doing this. Sincerely helps reading the books you recommend. I'm happy it helps, man. I love hearing that. Like I of course I can recommend books, but it's, you know, it takes of course a step to buy them and read them or find a PDF. But yeah, all I can say, the trading books I have helped me in my journey, so I hope it does the same for others. But yeah, nice to hear, Vegas Nick. Love hearing the fact that you also read some books developing yourself as a trader, which is what we like to see when trading alt/pool coins. Yeah, I think with the dominance chart, you would need to probably use it in relation to counts on a price chart. Because you can't really count the dominance chart, right? I did a count, but if you think about it, you can't go above 100, so you'll be ranging. How many of your viewers are actually subscribed to the channel? That's a good question. I don't know. Let me have a look, because I will be able to find it in the analytics. Let me have a look. Analytics, audience, I guess. I gotta go to audience, I think. Okay, we have 99.4% males and 0.7% females. The age, subtitles, top geographies, top. Oh, that's the. Oh wait, that's the last 28 days, and that doesn't count. Oh, here. Oh no, this is subscribers the last 28 days. Wait, I want to see subscribers over, I guess, a lifetime of the channel. So in the lifetime of the channel, 56.1% is subscribed and 43.9% is not subscribed. In the past 90 days, which includes my holiday, right? 54% subscribed, 45% not subscribed. In the last 28 days, which is pretty much the whole month that I was gone, it says 55% subscribed, 44% unsubscribed. Or not unsubscribed, not subscribed. Lol. Wow. However, this is what I don't get. Watch time. So this is watch time. I guess watch time is different. So I guess because what I mentioned just now are the views. But if you look at watch time, then, and this is the standard one that I get, analytic that I get, it's 74%. So I guess watch time, they value watch time more than a view, because a view doesn't translate into a certain amount of watch time. So 74% of the subscribers with regards to watch time. Oh, wait, here, watch time. Okay, I see. 1 second, I'm going to do the same. So in lifetime, 70% subscribed, 30% not subscribed with regards to watch time on the channel, right? So it's around 70-30 with regards to the watch time. Yeah. But not views, so that's a difference. Of either letter. I was writing sun. Mark the best mod. Indeed. Thanks, Money Badger. Yeah, we're getting close to 9,000 subscribers. Insane. I was gone on like in March, and still 20 people found the subscribe button somehow. And yeah, we're getting close to 5 digits now. Ridiculous. We're now at 8,939. Elliott Waves is not everyone's tea. A lot of people want an easy answer and don't have the patience. That's correct. Up or down? Sometimes we get those questions as well, but there's no easy. Like if someone is, this is the thing. If someone answers your question to up or down, if you like, is Bitcoin going up or down? And someone is answering this with 100% confidence, there's probably something wrong. Because first of all, we're talking probabilities and not certainties, right? So the probability is higher for either X or Y, but in the end, we don't know because, price. The only thing we can do is probabilities. And that is where Elliott Waves is very effective. Now, what I try to do on the channel is, of course, update people, talk about probabilities, and educate. But I'm very sure that people also follow the channel. Like I have a certain level of skill in Elliott Waves, which so that they don't have to learn it themselves, if you know what I mean. So I feel like I fill up a certain gap in knowledge, and people are interested in it, but they don't want to take time to study it in detail. So they come to the channel where I then talk about Elliott Waves instead of them doing it themselves, which is absolutely fine, right? I'm just here to inform, educate, and people, they whatever they do with it. B channel, are you B channel? I think it's one per hour now. How many hours are we streaming? 2 hours. Yo, B channel, man. B channel with another one. Hey, Adrian. There you go again. Adrian, send me an email. I think you've been there before. Yeah, you also got the silver badge. But B channel, man. Thanks for another one. This guy or girl, we don't know, but B channel, thanks for the gift to Adrian. Adrian, you know how it works. Send me an email with your Telegram and Discord, and I'll make sure to bump you up to the silver membership, as the gift is likely bronze. Not a girl. Okay, good to know. Then I can say man or dude or bro. But thanks, B channel, man. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. I think that's crazy. Fan funding B channel, B channel. Yeah. And not to forget, like this guy also before I left to South Africa, B channel with the. I wonder if I can find statistics somewhere of who gave the most gifts. I think B channel is up there. Mark as well, because Mark tends to like, you know, do multiple at once, like crazy guys. Thanks. Appreciate the support to the channel. When you're working on Elliott Wave, do you compare cycles? It seems to me the price built by Robert and they work according to templates. So with regards to cycles, we call them fractals in Elliott Waves. Generally, I guess in the market in general, you would use the word fractals, but cycles is used when you talk about a Bitcoin cycle. Fractals is when we talk about a portion of the chart that you can copy on top of current price action. And yeah, fractals and cycles, I mean, it's just another way of analyzing the chart. Can it work? Absolutely. Do I use it? No, I don't personally use it. I have other tools that I prefer and that work better for me. But I'm sure that people do use cycles as well as fractals. And when we talk about cycles, I guess Plan B with his indicator that I forgot the name of, I mean, that is probably pretty much built on the cycle theory, I suppose. So, yeah. How should we evaluate the retracement currently happening? So, wait, Mark, I see the little present at the top, so we scroll down, and there's Mark. And Mark, it wasn't like an indication to do a $5, but you know, there you go. Mark is already like. I still. So we're gonna meet and have a coffee, tea, drink, whatever together, and yeah, he is the first mod ever, and also probably one of the biggest gifters on the channel, adding another 5 to his tally. So Mark, thanks for the support. Ways of the Jedi, Surfing Crypto, Jen Hartle, Ray Udumala, and Time Alone. You probably got gifted a, because I can't actually see it, a bronze membership. Send me an email, koenstrading@outlook.com, and I will bump you up to silver. Okay, and that's like short-term updates and updates in between the content, sharing ideas, posting stuff there before the videos and that sort of stuff. So send me an email. Thanks, Mark. Very kind of you. I'd never do that. Exactly. B channel. Heineken kicking in. Yeah, he has no. He's probably he's drunk. You know, there goes the money. He has too much bucks, but. I think it's time to close the stream, no? I gotta save your wallets. B channel and Mark. Thanks for the gifts, guys. She's B channel. Rados Knez, Burry, Mr. Seeb, Lazar Flor. Oh no, wait, not Mr. Seeb. Rados Knez, Burry, Lazar Florentin, 80k left to retire. And Fireman, send me an email, koenstrading@outlook.com, and I will get you into the silver membership section, which is the short-term updates. You can thank B Channel and Ways of the Jedi, Server Crypto, Jen, Ray, and Time Alone. You can thank Mark. Mark and B Channel, thanks for the gifts, guys. This is crazy. Sure. Thanks, guys. What a support. What a support. Back from a month of holiday. And yesterday's stream was nutty as well. And you guys have no break. No chill. You keep going. So at the moment, we don't have any bearish CVD divergences. Right? We have a bit of a move towards the downside. Now, what is important to me is that the highest amount of volume so far is still in the high. So what I prefer to see is price to not hit this 0.6, and I'm going to put on the chart right now. I actually think I need a 0.6 template because I do talk about this quite often. I also have to refresh my chart as I start to lag a little. Okay, so if we talk about an impulse to the upside, right? This high, having the highest amount of volume, should be part of a wave 3. So what we like to see is still a 4 and a 5, and we don't want to see the 0.618 hit. If the 0.618 is hit, probabilities go down for a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a wave 5. However, if price hits the 0.618, this being a wave 1, 2, and continuation has a bit lower probabilities because the highest amount of volume is in the high. If an impulse or a traditional impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by far most commonly has the highest amount of volume in wave 3, which would be this section, if this would be the end, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will only see the highest volume in a 5 if wave 5 is the extended wave, meaning the longest one. And then still in wave 5, you still want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then wave 3 generally has the highest amount of volume. Or you're talking about a big blow off top, which is not the case at the moment. Or wave 5 takes a very significant high or low, like it wicks, and then the volume is wicked there. But that is not the case over here. So if price is hitting the 0.618, probabilities do increase to move below this low. And because of the highest amount of volume in the top here, and that then increase in turn the probabilities this is a flat structure. Interesting. A special Sunday. Woo! I don't know. I gotta plan it. I gotta plan it. I don't yet have an idea of when I would do a special Sunday. I think in April we can do one. No, it's the beginning of April. Would be fun to do either an alt, maybe a stock, or I can make. The thing with making it a repetitive thing is I am not available every Sunday because of family and friend stuff. But yeah, I have to organize this separately and make sure that I'm home. So somewhere in April would be fun. I love this sentence with "send me an email." Ah, there you go. Every time I yeah, of course this happens, I will repeat it, especially for you. Only focusing on Bitcoin at the moment. Just be clear. If you give the membership, you remember to. So please don't feel offended if you don't get one. That's a good addition. Yeah. That's a good one. It's random. I don't know how the algorithm selects the people, but we should bounce. No liquidation to the downside. Yeah, remaining patient here. We have a bit of a range structural support. B channel out here cosplaying as Oprah. You get one, and you get one, and you get one. Can you talk about microwaves? Well, micro is it's a time frame in Elliott waves, of course. So with regard to Elliott waves, pop, you have all these. Can you see this? Yeah, the whole list. Micro down here is related to a time frame. Now, I don't really use this because I think it's completely like it's not valuable to be like, oh, super millennial time frame, like, or the super millennium count or the cycle count or the minor count. So I generally have like 5 different colors. But anyway, micro with regards to, can you talk about microwaves? I mean, micro is just a time frame, and the microwaves would be like 5 minutes. So it's very, very low time frame, right? Sub-minute is like the 1 minute. You can even go lower if you want charts on like a second time frame, like so many seconds. But yeah, and then I'm currently on a 3 min, right? Very sub-minute. You have like no. I don't even know all of them. What is it? Minuscule, sub-micro, micro, sub-minute, minute. I don't know. So 1 minute would then for me be the minuscule, and the sub-micro can be 3 or 5, and the micro 5. You know, So yeah, but I just explained, of course, how I would count this piece at the moment to the upside when I explained the 618 and the importance there. Waited the whole 1st April in your video. Oh, the April Fool's. Yeah, I got to be honest. I thought about an April Fool video, but the problem is that I was in South Africa and I was just busy with other stuff. So yeah, next year. I would love to make an April Fool's type of video, but yeah, I still remember the thumbnail that Arbuzny Sock made. Oh wait, I actually have it in my files. I can find it another time, but because I also have to go. We've been online for 2.5 hours, but yeah, a funny thumbnail, maybe open mouth, screaming, like very bright colors, high contrast. Stupid thumbnail. And then speak like the Moon Boys in the video. I only use microwaves. Trading on the 5 min. I see. More like a scalper. I mean, in the end, one would still need a bit of a strategy and a plan, no? But from an Elliott Wave point of view, as mentioned just now, the highest amount of volume is in the high, which is wave C behavior or 3. And this is where the 0.618 comes in. So preferably in an impulse, this is the high of a wave 3 in that case, and you want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wave 4 is not allowed to hit the 618. The moment you hit the 618 over here at 67,333, probabilities increase that this is a finished structure, and higher probability it's a wave C for then a flat ABC and a move to the downside to take the local lows. And the reason for that is that counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives the highest amount of volume in the 5. And that is something that is, in an impulse, you don't want to see that. So it happens more often for a wave C compared to a wave 5 that ends on high volume. Unless wave 5 is extended, which it didn't, it's not. It takes a very important high or low, grabs the volume there, which it didn't. Or a blow off top, but it's not a blow off top. So the probabilities would then increase for this to be a C and then the lows to be taken. As long as you don't hit the 618, there, probabilities to move to the daily naked point of control just above. So that is the impact of the 618 there. Discount. What's up, Shorts? I replied to your comment about your position. Yeah. So with regards to your position, I think I can even find the comment because my answer won't really be different. Oh yeah, here. So what I said is, hi Shorts, I unfortunately can't tell you what to do with your position. What is most important is that you have a plan in advance with a clear invalidation, stop loss, and a target. In this case, the mistake isn't made during the trade. It's made before the trade, not having a clear plan with an invalidation. This would be the lesson and something to improve for future trades. So my answer isn't really any different where you're in a position that of course you don't want to be in. And I can't necessarily, I can't recommend you what to do with the position. But all I can say is that but what I just said, you want to learn from the mistake here, because the mistake is not actually the trade. It's like what happened in the trade. The mistake was even before the trade happened, not having a clear plan with an invalidation. So what to say, it's we've all been there, these big losers, and it also depends is it a very big loss? Like, right? Like one should never trade with money you can't lose. That's an important one. But nonetheless, is it very significant? Then very likely your emotions start to play up. And because of emotions, you are not closing when you could, right? You hope price is going to return back to your entry, but it may not, and the loss only gets bigger. The moment of the comment, you were at minus 20, now you're at minus 180. So yeah, you know, when is it a good time to just call it quits and learn the lesson? Maybe it goes back to 64K, right? It's all probabilities. So yeah, and that is a choice you will have to make yourself, and it's a very difficult choice. But hopefully, it will teach you a lesson in planning a trade with regards to a stop loss and a take profit. So, yeah. What's up, Oku? Welcome back to the classroom. Hope you're doing good. Welcome back. Hey, everyone. Kind of mentioned, of course, what I wanted to say in the live stream. We've been online for 2.5 hours. I really got to move. There's still a video coming at 7 p.m. We'll see what I say in that video, as of course a lot has been covered in the live stream. But I mean the video is more condensed, helps people as well. The live stream is very long, and in a video I can condense it a lot. So this 618 is an Elliott Wave 618. It's taken from this low over here to the high. About 5 to 10 minutes ago, I explained the 618. It has to do with wave 4s. It's an invalidation for a wave 4. So yeah, that being said, guys, thanks for hanging out in this live stream. I really appreciate you all joining and coming here, popping in. Almost 100 likes. We are 7 likes away from 100. And yeah, it was a very enjoyable stream. We had over 1,000 views. Average view duration 14 minutes, or well, 15 minutes actually. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming in. Mark, B channel, you know, here fan funding like crazy, like thanks. GT Sleeper, welcome to the team, and of course One Drop and Vladimir. Thanks for your donos as well. Very much appreciated. Seeing your support come in, you know, means a lot. So with regards to like YouTube Shorts, make sure to go with your question. Go to minute 11:30, where I talk about the probabilities on the 4-hour time frame, and then later also locally. So yeah, the probabilities are mentioned in the analysis there, and what will happen locally is mentioned about 5 to 10 minutes ago. So if you go back in the stream 5 to 10 minutes, that's where I talk about this 0.618 and the importance. If this one is hit before taking the high, probabilities increase to take the low and move in, you know, inside 65K, and then we see if we get any support. As long as you don't hit the 618 here, if you make a new high, then, you know, we're going to be talking about impulses, and probabilities are lower. You're going to take this low very soon. Probabilities are higher. You then take this high, go to the next area of resistance, and then after this, it's the 71K highs. So, okay. Thanks everyone for coming in. Akshay Kamur, hi and bye, because I've been online for 2.5 hours. I got to move. Got to move. Oh, did we reach 100 likes? Thanks everyone, appreciate it. Thanks for your support as well, pushing that button. And yeah, cheers. I will catch you very soon. Tomorrow is at least planned another live stream, but tonight at 7 p.m., which is in 1 hour and 20 minutes, I will update you guys with a normal video, right? A video update. Everything will be nicely condensed, so that you have all the information in about a 10-minute video. So that being said, see you later at the next one. Bye-bye.